Former Prime Minister Ibrahim Mahlab appointed presidential aide for the strategic and national projects. And the High Election Commission looks into appeals filed in by those wishing to run for the elections. Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting with the newly sworn-in cabinet. They include 16 new ministers a week after the previous administration resigned following a corruption scandal. The 33-member cabinet contains 3 women. 2 of the newcomers, the Minister of Education Zeki Bedr and Minister of Tourism Hisham Zazua, served in similar posts under previous regimes. 17 ministers retained their posts, including the Sovereign Defence, Foreign and Justice Ministries. The presidency said that 4 ministries have been merged. The new government will be in office until Parliament is elected and a majority forms a new cabinet. And after meeting with the President, Prime Minister Sharif Ismail said that President al-Sisi has assigned the new government with a number of tasks, including monitoring the prices of basic commodities and boosting the economy. During a press conference after the swearing-in ceremony, Ismail said the new government has long and short-term strategies to implement the ongoing national projects. The Prime Minister said that the government will prepare a program which will be presented to the upcoming Parliament once it is elected. He also hailed the ministers of the previous government, describing them as patriotic. Ismail vowed to eliminate corruption, adding that he would exert his utmost efforts to solve the existing problems and prepare for free and fair legitimate elections. The Premier said that improving the education and health sectors is among the new government's top priorities. Ahead of the swearing-in ceremony, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met with former Prime Minister Ibrahim Mahlab. The President has appointed Mahlab as his aide for national and strategic projects and praised the efforts of his government, saying that the ministers had served the country during a very critical period. Al-Sisi instructed Mahlab to follow up on the ongoing national projects and to ensure that they are implemented on time. The President also met with the newly appointed Prosecutor General, Councillor Nabil Sadeh, who was sworn in earlier today. Presidential spokesman Ala Yusuf said that Sisi had reiterated that the post requires serious efforts by the new attorney to achieve rapid justice and guarantee the rule of law. Sadeh, who was the former head of the Court of Cassation, takes up the new role for a 4-year term after the former Prosecutor General, Hisham Barakat, was assassinated in a car bomb attack in June. The presidency mourned the death of Dubai's heir apparent Sheikh Rashid bin Mohammed Al Maktoum, who passed away in the early morning hours of today after suffering a heart attack. In a statement, the presidency extended its condolences to the ruling family and the ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Dubai has announced a 3-day mourning period after the son of the Gulf Emirates ruler passed away at the age of 33. Sheikh Rashid was an avid sportsman and a racehorse enthusiast. His younger brother, Sheikh Hamad, is Dubai's crown prince. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has met and held a press conference with EU President Donald Tusk, who is currently on a visit to the country. Sisi and Tusk discussed a number of files, including the Syrian crisis and the flow of refugees, mainly from the Middle East to Europe. During the press conference after the meeting, al-Sisi reiterated that he had discussed with Tusk the developments in the Middle East, Libya and Syria. The president added that efforts would be doubled to preserve the unity of both countries. Al-Sisi meanwhile urged the Israeli government to contain the violence in the Al-Aqsa Mosque and avoid a flare-up of the situation there. For his part, Tusk said that the European Union is committed to backing economic and social reforms in Egypt. Tusk will head to Jordan after wrapping up his visit to the country to meet with Jordanian King Abdullah II and to discuss the war in Syria, Iraq and Libya. The Administrative Court has begun looking into appeals filed by candidates excluded from the parliamentary elections race after receiving their complaints over a two-day period. The Higher Election Commission, the HEC, is set to announce the final list of candidates who will contend in the first stage of the polls next Monday. Candidates are entitled to officially start campaigning thereafter. The Commission has already accepted the papers of 9 party lists and 5,420 independent parliamentary hopefuls. For the 12th consecutive day, the Armed Forces continues with its all-out military operation dubbed the Martyrs' Rite in North Sinai. The Joint Army and Police operation has claimed the lives of 9 terrorists and arrested 88 in raid and search operations carried out in the cities of Al-Arish, Rafah and Sheikh Zayed today. More local news. In the Cairo Criminal Court has resumed the trial of ousted President Mohamed Morsi and 10 leading members of the Terrorist Brotherhood organization on charges of espionage. The defendants are accused of leaking classified and national security documents to the Gulf state of Qatar. In another case, the Minya Criminal Court issues its verdict against 21 defendants accused of storming into a police station and rioting after the dispersal of the Brotherhood's illegal sit-ins in 2013. The Cairo Criminal Court resumes the trial of 23 defendants on charges of inciting violence outside the state television building, Mespil. To regional news now, where violence between Palestinian protesters and Israeli occupation troops spread beyond the walls of Jerusalem's Old City, with at least 8 Palestinians shot in clashes in the West Bank. The details follow.
Protesters clashed with Israeli occupation forces in Jerusalem and the occupied West Bank after Hamas group in Gaza called for a day of rage over tensions at Al-Aqsa Mosque. Police said that in the occupied Jerusalem, 3 police were injured as a firebomb struck their van in Jabal